that was hot. That was hot. Look at that. We got Dave out there making new friends already. Hola, buenos días. So you see a bunch of vendors, you know, line up here to do their thing. Looks like. Hola, buenos días. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes, no? It was 4 children, you know, all from like 3 to 7 years old. The route through the hilly countryside. Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're out here in the middle of the Mayan jungle. We're out here in the middle of the Yucatan in el pueblo of Santa Elena. All right, and as you guys can see there, look at this amazing and beautiful view. Look at the giant hill. This church has been built on top of this giant hill. I have never been here. You guys probably have never been here, and in order to get out here, you're probably going to take one of these buses, unless you have a car or a truck in which to, well, make your way out here. And well, today we're lucky enough to be joined by our good friends Dave and his wife Rebecca, and we got Christian out there too. Everybody's out there sightseeing and checking out the location. And look at this, how amazing is this church? So you're probably asking, well, what are we doing today? What's on the docket? What are we doing out here? Well, what are we doing out here? Well, we're simply gonna be going on a little bit of a day trip, and we're gonna be visiting various locations. In fact, I want to walk up that church. I know you guys want to see it. Look how huge this is. So yeah, so we're going to be taking a little bit of a day trip, and we're going to be visiting various locations. And you might be visiting some of these locations if you're ever out here, even on vacation, believe it or not. And why do I say that? Well, because look at this. This is beautiful. Wow, look at all the rocks. This is amazing. Look at those homes up there. Just amazing stuff. Look at that. Wow. All right, so yeah, sorry, I get a little distracted sometimes. So as I was saying, look at those stairs, huge stairs. Well, yes. Wow, this is very, very steep. Interesting. Okay, so if you're ever out here and you're visiting Xuxmal, well, this is not too far away. This is only just a few minutes away from Xuxmal. In fact, I'm going to show you guys real quick on the map exactly where we are and what our itinerary is for today. So not only are we going to, you know, the pueblo de Santa Elena, but we're also going to be visiting a few spots on the route. And this is also considered La Ruta Puuc. So we're going to be visiting not only Santa Elena, but we're going to be visiting several spots along the route. So the Ruta Puuc is, we're not visiting the Ruta Puuc, but we're going to be visiting part of La Ruta Puuc. And the Ruta Puuc basically means the route through the hilly landslide, or sorry, the route through the hilly countryside. And yeah, it is very, very, very hilly all through this area. Look at this, how monstrous this is. So we're gonna check this out. It's very, very impressive. Gonna be very quiet as we enter the church. Gotta use my inside voice. Wow, check it out. So we got the gang there doing their thing, doing the touristy thing. So as I was saying, guys, we're going to be visiting various spots, okay? And I have no idea what we're going to be in store for today. We're all going to be seeing it together, and I really hope you guys are going to be enjoying today's show, enjoying today's adventure, as we take you on a day trip around the area called La Ruta Puuc, basically in the middle of the Yucatan. And I highly, highly suggest, if you're ever out here, even as a tourist, and you do visit the area of Xuxmal, which is, you know, some of the most impressive archaeological sites in the area. It's an amazing site. For me, when people ask me about Chichen Itza, I'm like, you should go to Xuxmal instead. Xuxmal is way better, more impressive, bigger, and so on and so forth. So if you ever do visit Xuxmal, then you definitely have to come and do part of this route, whether it's a Ruta Puuc or La Ruta Jose. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But yeah, very big, very impressive. And so just to give you guys a little bit of a historical background on these churches, you know, right here where this church is, there used to be a temple, one of those big ancient temples. And long story short, when the Spanish came, they took the temple down and they built a church on top of where the temple used to be. Little souvenirs. Muchas gracias. Bonito día. And this is like a mosquito net. But look, yeah, so we're on the side of the church, you know, where I just showed you earlier. Yeah, and so yeah, there's a museum, sure enough. And there's the town. Look at that. Look at that, very nice. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a little guys. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tour in a little bit, as soon as we finish checking out the museum. So let's go in here and check out the museum. Oh, very nice. Oh wow, almost hit my head with that. Look at that, so very low. Yeah, look at the view there. Wow, very nice. Buenos días. Oh, cool. So there's all the, like, the little gift shop in front of the museum. ¿Quieres un monedero?
Sí. Más cobrero.
Nice little museum. Gift shop here. We got some pictures. So look, there is a entrance fee, as you guys can see. And then there's the back. All right, very nice. All right, I'm gonna wait for everyone to catch up, and then I'll see you guys as we enter the museum. All right, so let's make our way in here. Look at that. Wow. That's so cool. Look at this museum, very nice. Yeah, a lot of history here. You know, that's what you're gonna find when you read these things. That's in Mayan, English, and Spanish. And yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. So these mummies you know, when they were first discovered, they were discovered in the 80s, 1980s. And when the archaeologists, you know, found them, you know, they had no idea, you know, who these people were, what they were. Look at these well-preserved mummies. And so they started investigating, and long story short, these mummies, the reason they called them mummies is because they were just so well-preserved. But they weren't actually buried that long ago. So they were buried like in the 1880s or something like that. And basically it was it was 4 children, you know, all from like 3 to 7 years old, buried in different times. And so what happened was that they discovered that the cedar that was used in order to, you know, make the caskets, that is what helped preserve them, you know, plus, you know, all the, you know, chemicals that they use. And they use a bunch of things, you know, basically only the rich back in the day were able to bury anybody. And so since the rich were the only ones that had access to burying them, well, they quickly found out, you know, who this family was. And I think it was like a family of Germans that had, you know, those kids in that whole situation there. But yeah, long story short, that's what those mummies are. But they found them here, they were preserved here, and they're still preserved. Again, as you guys can see, it even has the temperature control and everything, you know, just to make sure everything is hunky-dory. So yeah.
Me estaba contando ella que dice a lo mejor hay más cosas enterradas en la iglesia.
Oh, wow.
Y constantemente se está levantando el piso y se lo arreglan y luego después se vuelve a alzar el piso de la iglesia.
Wow.
Sí.
Yeah, so basically Christians saying that, yeah, you know, deep down inside the church, underground, you know, under these hills, there's still a lot of things buried. In fact, you know, you're probably wondering, you know, why are there Germans here, you know, and why were those German kids, mummies, you know, there? Well, simply because back in 1866, the German Chancellor, Maximilian something, basically set a decree that Germans can come out here and settle these lands. And so they did. They came out here and they settled these lands. And, you know, that was one of the rich families that was out here. And that was their children's. And there you go.
Dice que había 12 momias en total.
Oh, wow. So there's...
Pero solo dejaron 4, enterraron otras y se llevaron otras.
Oh, wow. So there was 12 mummies in total. They buried 4, kept 4, and then the other 4 they took away. There's probably at the British Museum or at the Vatican or any one of these places. So yeah, I'm recording this after the fact, okay? Just so you're hearing the kids and the outside sound. So, all right, time to move on to the next thing here. So look at that. And again, wow, what a pretty cool museum. I highly suggest if you guys are in the area, swing by and not only check out the museum, help maintain, help do your part in maintaining this alive, you know, this history alive. And again, it's only going to take you a few minutes of your time. Very, very nice, you know, to be able to share, you know, all this with you. Again, we got Christian there making new friends. And again, yeah, you can just, you know, help, you know, by just giving a few. Look, for example, when I paid my entrance, I paid full price for both, instead of you know, getting the national price, because my wife is a national. So just a little bit of a donation. You can also purchase something, but again, this all helps keep all this alive. And then even in that room, that's what they do. See, you can see. ¿Puedo pasar un momentico? A ver, sí. Gracias. Look at this. So there's like a little workshop area here. Look at that. Cool. All right. So, all right, guys. So time to head out of here. Let's go on ahead and take a little bit of a tour of the area, so you guys can check out what Santa Elena looks like, and you know, well, what the other villages in the area look like. So again, this is just the beginning of our day, the beginning of our tour around, you know, the whole Ruta Puuc area here in the Yucatan, right in the heart, in the center of the jungle. All right, guys, here I wanted to show you real quick a little bit of kind of like what the town looks like, you know, from the walking perspective, since you know, Christian is in there, you know, making a new friend. Let's check this out. So yeah, you know, again, this is the typical kind of vehicle, you know, for a lot of these places. You know, a lot of little villages and pueblos, they'll use something like that. See, they just leave their motorcycles parked outside, have their doors open, Trying to let the wind in, even though it's like 105 degrees out, or 100 degrees. I don't know if we're gonna get to 105 today, but it's pretty hot. Really nice. Here, check it out. Got the dog sleeping inside the home there, just relaxing and enjoying a beautiful time. Look at this. What a view, huh? Now again, guys, I don't want to give you a completely full tour of this village. A lot of these villages, obviously, you know, they look the same and they look very, very, very different. You know, they all have their unique charm. Again, we're gonna go on a little drive around the town, you know, just for a few minutes before we head out of here and go to the next spot. But I just wanted to show you guys, you know, what it looks like. And again, guys, you know, I do have videos on my channel. Again, very recently, you know, again, me, Dave, and Tree, you know, we got on our bikes and we basically took a ride through El Pueblo of Tequit. And again, if you want to see like what a complete town, a complete little village looks like, you guys can check that video out. Wow, look at that. So that's like the town hall, I guess, all the way down there. Very nice, very hilly. So it's pretty hilly. I didn't know the Yucatan was this hilly until, you know, I started exploring it a lot more. So, all right, guys, well, I gotta make my way back up there, rescue my princess, and then, you know, we're gonna head back all the way down the hill to get to the truck so that we can go on ahead and, you know, make our way through the rest of the tour. We still have a lot to see and a lot to explore, so hopefully you guys are enjoying everything so far. By the way, quick little reminder, you know, down below, you guys can go on ahead and skip ahead to different sections, you know, just in case one section or several sections are boring to you, you can just move on to the next thing. Also, you know, again, I want to give a big shout out to every single one of you guys out there that has helped the show, you know, throughout the years. You know, whether you bought a t-shirt, you know, whether you subscribe to the other channels, whether you subscribe to this channel. Again, if you haven't already, it would be awesome if you did today. Don't forget to hit the likes. I never say it. I just figured I'd say something because, you know, once I get the camera going, it's hard for me to shut up. So, all right, you already know. You can all fill in, you know, what every other YouTuber says, you know, all the time, you know, about liking and subscribing and all that stuff during the video. All right, so we're back up here. Look at that. What a view. What a view. All right, guys. So, those are the kids that you heard earlier, you know, as Christian was describing, you know, a little bit more history about the mummies and stuff like that. So, you know, we're back at the bottom of the hill here. So let's kind of make our way here through a little bit through the centro. You already saw all this. These are all just the guys hanging out. So today's a Saturday, by the way. So, you know, lazy Saturday, lazy weekend. But everybody's just hanging out here. So these are the guys. You got more people here, and then more people here. So there's all kinds of people hanging out here. Pretty interesting. So yeah, they got like the little children's park over there and all that other stuff, and they got little statues. Look at that, little Yucatecan. And there's Christian dying in the heat. She's melting. So all right. We also had a long night last night. We were celebrating some stuff, so, you know, we had a long night, and in typical fashion, you know, we came out here to whatchamacallit, like burn out the alcohol from the night before. So again, anyway, so, you know, we're here in the town center. Look at all the cool stuff here, and you know, we're about to hop in the truck. There's like a little parking lot here. So there's a wow, look at that. So that's like the town hall, I guess, all the way down there. There's the whatchamacallit, the town center there, as you guys can see. And just for context, again, remember when I was walking out of the museum and I was showing you, this is exactly, you know, where it would have come out. So as you guys can see there, you know what I mean? I was from up there. So again, you go up there, up that hill, and then you make a right, and then you're up in the museum. And look at that, we got gentrification. Look at that, I don't see any gringos here. You see, it's all Mexican, all right? It's all Mexican. Little papaya orange cafe. Nice, very nice. And then we got the traditional guy here selling his thing. So basically he's selling snow cones. That guy's selling snow cones. That guy's just a taxi, all right? And then here we got papaya orange cafe. which is very nice. You should come visit and come be a patron here of this very nice establishment that seems to have all kinds of yummy offerings, you know, like coffee, creams, and whatchamacallit, like ice creams and all kinds of cool stuff. So, all right, time to get out of here. We got Dave and Rebecca waiting for us. So let's hop in the truck and let's give you a quick little tour around town. All right, guys. So yeah, like, that's just right off the side of the road. Again, there's a pile of rocks, but not really. You know, it's more like a temple. You know, more like a pyramid. But yeah, so like this is like the route, and we're actually going to another pyramid. You know, we're going to another one of those sites. Yeah, as much as we want to stop on that one, you know, we can't stop at all of them. But just so you get an idea, when you're coming down this road, you know, there's many things that you can see. Hey, get dangerous. You know, there's many things that are going on out here. But anywho, yeah, just so you guys can get an idea, what you can. That's a side road attraction, right?
Yeah.
A roadside attraction. All right, roadside attraction. Route 66 out here in Merida, in the Yucatan. All right, so all right, back to the jungle we go. All right, next stop. Where are we going? Of Sayil. Get there. Look at that, Ruta Puuc. Right? Wow, so beautiful. Oh well, there's the entrance we just came in through. And it seems like they have some modern facilities here that they're building. Kind of giving me some weird, you know, Jurassic Park vibes here. Bruh. But anyway, so it seems like this is the entrance. So let's check it out, guys. So again, we are now here in the ruins, I guess, of Sayil. So it seems like they're constructing it. It's in the process. So I gotta pay a a camera fee in order to film in here. So all right, let's so yeah, you gotta pay to get in. It says 75 pesos per ticket. Okay, and then you got Dave there, so let's we got the dog. All right, so let's pay up and then make our way through. Look at that, we got Dave out there making new friends already.
Remember, befriend a dog when you're out in the country.
That's right. All right, pretty cool, pretty nice. So yeah, let's just check out this place. Really nice. So yeah, it seems like, again, yeah, they're yeah, I asked the guy, you know, the guy that was the ticket salesman or whatever, the ticket person, and yeah, they're
all trained Maya money.
okay. So yeah, no, it's probably like a little cultural center, gift shop, and the bathrooms.
Yeah.
What was that?
Bringing all the infrastructure up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So because remember, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. You guys have already seen on the map exactly where we're at, in a sense, so you guys can kind of get an idea. All right. But yeah, I mean, they're expecting, you know, this place to, you know, grow with a lot of tourism, because again, a lot of national tourism, a lot of Mexicans, you know, yeah, this is when they come out here to visit these regions, you know, like when they come visit the Yucatan. When they come visit the Yucatan Peninsula and things like that, this is, you know, what they're coming out here for, is to see, you know, these, you know, the Mayan jungle, you know, all the structures out here. Again, you know, we're going to be seeing things like that hut right there, which is like a traditional dwelling, you know, basically that's how they lived up until they had houses and so on and so forth. So all right, pretty interesting. But yeah, let's check out the map and check out this whole thing. It seems like it's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Wow, really big. All right.
You are here.
Okay.
Or right about here. There's somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look how far back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. You know, we're going to be cutting ahead because it's going to be
trees. It's not open like Chichen Itza and you're dying in the heat and everything. Hi, there
very
you
nice,
are, Mama.
And yeah, not only is it nice and cool because you know we're under the trees.
Got a dog for a minute.
That's right. But we also have a little escort, little doggy escort. All right. Really nice. All right, so we're going to be walking down the path, and then I'll just you know, I'll stop periodically and show you guys
we're doing the whole route,
all the spots. So look, oh, there you go. So there, you guys can see on the map there. Yeah, we're basically kind of, yeah. So that's like the Ruta Puuc. And basically, you know, how we're doing it, you know, we're basically going through here, but then we're going this way.
St. Elena was right here.
But yeah, but if you're going to, yeah, exactly. So if you're going to be coming out here.
We're going to go back to where through here.
Well, I mean, no. That will be the traditional route, but the route that we're taking is going this way, because we got to make it back to Merida. But again, there's many routes. There's many things out here. That's the thing. That's the whole point. When you're coming out here, there's many things you can do. You can just go here. You can just come where we're at now. You can, you know, which is Sayil. You know, you can go to St. Elena, which was there. That was the one that we stopped on the side of the road. And there's multiple more all along the way. Look at that. Wow. In fact, here, you guys can see real quick here. So, you know, again, just for the mild, casual, tourist, a lot of people, what they do is that they come out here. You don't even need a hat. It's nice and chill out here. But yeah, for a lot of people, what they do is that, you know, they'll go to Cancun and, you know, they'll go visit the beaches, and then they'll go and visit Chichen Itza, Tulum, you know, things like that. But for the hardcore, you know, Indiana Jones type, you know, adventurers, you know, those are the ones that come to places like Merida, and the rest of the Yucatan. But again, you know, you stay in Merida, that's the home base, and then you basically every single day, you know, that you're out here visiting, you come and see different ruins, because all through this region there's a lot of ruins that are really, you know, so deep into the jungle that most people don't come out here unless you're coming out here just for that.
Birds flying out of.
And look at the flower. Is that an orchid? On this tree here.
An orchid?
I think it's an orchid.
Look at this. Wow. So yeah, the thing is like when you visit these pyramids, you visit these archaeological sites that are out here in the middle of nowhere, you have so much more access that you normally just wouldn't have when you're visiting a site like Chichen Itza. In fact, in a place like Chichen Itza, see, look, right there's a sign that says no trespassing. But again, there's nobody out here except us. Uh oh, what happened? What was in there?
A bird.
Oh, let's go get it. Let's go in there.
Ooh, ooh.
See, guys, we're the worst. You know, I already wanted to go in there. Dave beat me to it.
Ganyo. What is it? Bat?
Ghana.
Ganyo.
Ghana.
Oh, Ghana.
Bat poop.
Bat poop. Guano.
Guano.
Oh, look, any, look at that. Look how much guano is in there. Holy guacamole. What? Yeah, look at that.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, hey. There are bats in there. And that's all that bat poop or guano. There you go. Yeah, I think it was a bird. No bats in there.
No, it's a regular bird, but it's green,
Yeah.
green and yellow.
But anyways, as I was saying, it's like, you know, the one cool thing is like, for example, like in Chichen Itza right now, so many people were, you know, breaking the rules and climbing the pyramid that they started to block it off, and now you barely have any access to some of these things. And so here, you know, the one cool thing about coming out here is that, look at that, look how much access you have to it. You can literally get, you know, a bird to shit on your head, you know, or a bat or whatever. I'm sure we'll find some iguanas soon too. There's always iguanas out here. And yeah, again, you know, the path is always going to be a very natural path, so you got to be careful when you're walking. But yeah, look at this. How impressive is this? Yeah. All right, let's go. So we got to climb that way. But yeah, like the actual Indiana Jones story, the real Indiana Jones existed. There was a guy, I mean, I don't know if his full name was, I don't think it was Indiana Jones, but anyways, the guy that the Indiana Jones character was based on, his home was in Merida. Yeah, because remember, I mean, look at all these archaeological sites. I mean,
didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Look at the view.
Love it.
Now,
Yeah, so check this out.
you should know the story of that carving going across the top, but
Look how small he looks there.
nice guide at Ushma explained that whole.
How impressive, huh? Yeah, I had to turn up the camera momentarily so I can make my way down here without falling face first. Had to concentrate. Look at that. How huge is this? All right, let's just check out get a little closer view of one of these places here. Look at this. Here, let's go on ahead and get the bird's eye view. Look at that. Like tons of birds and tons of animals in there. So yeah, so there's stairs to get up there. There they are. Look at those stairs.
There's a plaque over here.
Look at that. Yeah, so many birds. Wow, so huge, so impressive. But yeah, this is what I like about, you know, coming to visit these archaeological sites that are off the beaten path, because you have access, so much more access that, you know, you would never have at the other ones that are more populated by tourists. You know, not only are you here alone, basically, you know, we saw a couple of the tourists there, you know, besides just the employees that are here and a couple other tourists, you have basically access to the thing all to yourself. Wow. Wow. Look at that, making our way through the jungle here, the rocky jungle. And then we all that clay on the ground. Look at the little mini hill there. See how they built out the, you know, the path, the trail. They created this little trail here, you know, to get from point A to point B. It's a very, very, very big place here. This is giving me the vibes of like Monte Aban when we went to when we were in Oaxaca, and we went to go see the, you know, the pyramids there, and it was up on top of the mountain, and it was so huge. Yeah, yeah. Oh, look at that. Careful, poisonous snakes. Well, it doesn't say poisonous. It just says snakes that will bite. Just careful. But yeah, look how rocky it is. The floor feels super hard, like as if you're walking on concrete. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's like a completely different environment out here. And yeah, it's a jungle with the hills, hilly, rocky jungle out here. And again, this is like low-lying jungle. As you go deeper into Latin America, the jungle gets thicker and thicker to the point when you're getting to the Amazon rainforest, Amazon jungle. So, you know, right now we're just like at the beginnings, you know, of the jungle. That's like what the whole southern region of the Yucatan Peninsula is. So, all right, well, we're gonna keep trekking along till we get to the next stop on the trail. Look at this massive monster Jurassic tree here. Wow. I know the video doesn't do it justice, but here, look at, you can see how big that tree is for size. You got Dave in there. Look at that.
I don't know if that's a good pose enough here.
No, it's a great pose. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look how huge it is.
That tree had to have been here when this was an active civilization.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. You know, you imagine like how 500 years old, easy. That tree, maybe longer. Wow. So yeah, guys, it's like we're just like literally out here in the middle of nowhere. Very nice. Where do we go? So yeah, look here, we got some sort of sign. There's two spots there. The lookout of the god of phallus.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about that one.
And the temple of the hieroglyphic jams.
Dios del phallus.
Okay. So this way or which one? Where are we going?
Gods of phallus. I am the god of phallus.
Okay. Bruh. Yeah, but it's this way. The phallic is this way.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Temple of hieroglyphic.
We all want to go see the phallics. The phallic. That's right. We got a jam session. Oh yeah. Well, don't worry. It all connects. Let's go.
We even go to the Palace of Phallus.
That's right. Yeah.
Palace of Phallus.
That's right. Are we here? Is this the Tower of Phallus? It says
No, I think they're screens.
It says El Mirador there, and El Mirador is basically lookout point. That's like the lookout point. But yeah, look at that. Can't really climb that per se. I mean, technically you could, but it says not to, so I recommend you don't. Wow, very nice. Look at this. See what's back here. It says do not cross. Take it as far as we can. No trespassing. Look at that, or jungle. Look at that. Huh. Cool. So I don't know, this might not be the temple of the phallus. Ow. Oof, something poked me. Ouch. Okay, so it's like some little underground cave, little underground watering hole. I would not go in there. We have made it to the temple of the phallus, the phallic temple.
You're gonna have to put a warning label in there.
So there it says, the god of fertility. I just see a rock. I don't know what you guys are talking about. He's staying as hard as a rock. That's all I see.
It is a hard
All right.
rock. Yes.
Well, anyway, so this is the god of fertility out here, literally in the middle of the jungle. I mean, as you guys can see, I mean, it's very fertile out here. You know, everything just grows and grows and grows. So we're talking about the jungle, guys. We're talking about the fauna.
Yes, the fertility of the earth.
Yeah. This guy right here single-handedly is fertilizing.
But they are both dos personas. Son dos personas.
Oh, it's two people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Una mujer y un hombre.
Ah, it's a man and a woman, and I guess they're like in a embrace.
Yep.
Look at that. Oh yeah, you can see it. Cool.
They're dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So yeah, that's it. I guess it's like leads. That's it. That's the end of the path. There's nothing here. Oh my goodness. So I guess it doesn't connect yet. I guess they're still building the connections. All right. So well, we got to make our way all the way back to the fork in the road, and then we'll meet you guys back over there. All right. So yeah. So again, yeah, we've made our way to see the phallic statue, and now we've made it back all the way over here to the fork in the road, and now we're gonna go the other direction. All right, guys, I think we just finished trekking close to a mile. Whew, still got the rest of the pack lagging behind, but this last trail, we're trying to head to the southern temple. And you know, we kept seeing sign after sign that says 350 meters, 350 more meters, 350 more meters. I don't know, I was trying to find on my phone as I'm walking down this trail here how much is 350 meters, but it was 350 meters times 3. So I don't know how much that is in miles or how long that is in feet or whatever it is, but anyways, we're here. Look at this. Wow, we made it. Everybody's exhausted and tired, and again, you can tell that this is an archaeological site that they're still working on and still actively fixing and stuff, because normally when you come to these archaeological sites, all of the trails link up together. These don't. So basically, even we walked I don't know, a mile out here. Oof, we're exhausted. And there's no, you know, roundabout. We literally got to walk all the way back through the jungle. We're literally out here in the middle of the jungle. It's pretty insane. You know exactly where we are. But here we are, though. Here we are in the middle of the jungle. How cool is that? So cool. There's a little bit about the So this is Southern Palace, the mega palace. Yeah, this is the end of the trail, guys. So like, we get climbing up here, trying not to fall. Nope, I don't think so. I don't know if I can climb up here or not, but we are. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty abandoned. There's like nothing out here. Well. How you guys doing? Tired, huh?
Yeah, quite a trek.
Whew. We probably did a whole mile.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do another mile back.
I like this spot.
Look at that, so nice, so cool. But yeah, I mean, this is the end of the trail. There's nothing else out here except just jungle. And as we were making our way through here, we kept seeing signs all over the place. Do not go off the beaten path. And I could tell why. I'm telling you, you go off the beaten path here, you're gone. You'll be lost out here. But yeah, so look, today's a Saturday and it's a holiday weekend, and everywhere we were at, even though when we were passing places like Shusmal and other touristy areas, we were noticing that obviously the places are packed and full of people. But yeah, out here, we've only seen another pair of tourists and us and the jungle, and that's it. Little jungle exploring out here. Wow, look at that little rock. Little rock statues. I wonder who put those there.
There's
Oh, what?
a mook.
Oh,
It's a bird. Flying there, right there.
okay. Nah, some birds up there. Cool. Let's just make our way around here since it took us so long to get here. Very difficult to walk out here. You gotta be careful. But yeah, check it out. So yeah, these are ruins, like literally ruins in the ruins. There's a lot of times when you go to Chichen Itza, when you go to all the other ruins, well, they've already done a lot of work on them, so they look a lot nicer. But again, as you guys can see how abandoned this is, a lot of these rocks have fallen, from the palace. The palace itself has seen better days. And throughout this whole region, there's a lot of history involved as it pertains to the people living out here throughout the centuries and all this other stuff, because way back in the beginning, first times, a lot of the humans that started populating these areas, some of them, they just kind of found some of these pyramids that were here who knows how long before. But as the civilizations came through here, everything from the Olmecs to the Aztecs to the Mayans to everything in between, long story short, every new civilization, every new group had their own style of building these structures, these palaces, these whatchamacallit, these cities, these towns, right here in the middle of the jungle. They all had like their own kind of like style, all kinds of all kinds of archaeological styles, or sorry, architectural styles. Interesting. Okay, so well, you gotta be very, 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 very careful here. Very nice. All right, guys, well, I think we went around the palace. Gotta be careful with the plants, with the animals. There are wild animals out here as well. There's all kinds of signs, warning. Look at that, we made it all the way through. Cool. Wow. I'm losing my footing. Okay. So, all right, let's make our way back around. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little adventure we're having here today. So far, we've seen some mummies. Now we've seen some temples. And I think the next stop, we're going to be going to a cenote. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, we get to find the cenote this time around and not get lost like last time around that we were out exploring the jungle. So, all right, guys, let me meet up with the rest of the crew so we can find our way out of here. Whew. We got another trek back for another mile or so. We are exhausted. Everyone's taking a break. I'm still here walking. Hey, all right, I need to take a break. So there they are. We made our way all the way around.
1,000-year-old carved rocks.
That's right.
All around us is artwork if you look carefully.
That's right, that's right. We're just sitting here.
Over there, see the curl, the hook?
Yeah. So we're just sitting here taking a little break, watching the birds fly, seeing all kinds of little things crawling about. And just, yeah, just imagining, you know, like how many civilizations have been through here. And now look at us, you know, we're just a bunch of tourists, you know, just hanging out, right? Imagine thousands of years from now, you know, how, you know, future tourists are going to be, you know, looking at our own cities, right? And looking the ruins of our past civilizations, just like we're doing right now.
It's kind of like Florida.
Yeah.
The fauna, the palms, what are palominos?
Yeah. Yeah, everything except for the temples and the ruins.
Palominos are horses, I
Okay.
think. Palmettos are the
Palmetto.
yeah, palms.
So quiet. You could hear a pin drop. All right, so the journey begins back to the truck. We have already seen the Southern Palace, and now it's time to head all the way back. So again, I don't know how long it's going to take us, but hopefully we get there before we pass out from the heat and exhaustion, because it's starting to get hot. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is basically close to the hottest point of the day. The trees are definitely helping out here, but we need water. We're thirsty. So, all right, guys, hello. Say goodbye to the Southern Palace. It's been nice knowing you. Very, 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 very cool to be out here. Especially, again, it's just the fact that, I mean, think about it, you know, how much or how little human contact this region has had for the longest time. And yeah, as we leave right now, who knows when the next people will come through here. So, all right, well, they're already on ahead of me, so all right, let's I'll meet you guys back at the entrance. All right, as we were making our way out, so we found another trail to get to the exit, and look at this, we found even more ruins. Now, I'm gonna check these out. I know everybody's rushing to get out of here, but check this out. You know, more ruins. But see, that's the thing. I know for a lot of you guys out there in the audience, you guys don't really see these. That's why I'm showing it to you guys. I also walk a lot faster than everybody, so I can catch up to them. But yeah, the thing is, when you're living out here, you see so many of these. I mean, they have these even close to the city. I mean, they're not, you know, you don't have to go out to the middle of the jungle to come and see these. We're just seeing these because, well, these are in the middle of the jungle, so it's like, it has like an extra, you know, oomph about them. So, you know, something a little extra about them. So very nice. All right, now what? I gotta get down from here. Uh-oh. I think I gotta walk backwards. All right, yeah, they're all the way over there already, so. All right, gotta get out of here. Look at that. All right, so now, yeah, next stop, the car. Yeah, a lot of farmland out here, a lot of agricultural out here. We saw all kinds of things being, you know, that were planted and growing. They got like orange groves and pineapple trees and you know, just all kinds of things. Look at this, very nice. But yeah, we're just like out here in the middle of nowhere. Look at this little tiendita. Someone that lives here with a beautiful it's open. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, we out here. So yeah, again, we're very close to Campeche. We're that far south, and but yeah, we had again no cell phones signal or anything. We were just following the map, the traditional map, to get from point A to point B. So yeah, very, very cool. All right, about to hit a little village, a little pueblo. And like I said, hopefully we find the cenote, but if not, you know, we'll figure it out how we end our day. It's already starting to get late. It's like 3 o'clock. Look at that. You could be living out there. Look at this guy. Very nice. All right.
Trough, that cement trough right there, going all along the edge of the road. That's a water trough.
So now we're starting to enter. Oh, tope. Oh, there's a tope there. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why nobody speeds out here. Yeah, that's why nobody speeds out here, because again, if you speed, you know, you hit one of those things and then you pay the price, right? So, you know, all right. Let's keep showing you a little bit of the countryside out here. Through the middle of Yucatan right now.
Look at this, we got the tree right through the middle.
Yeah, look at that. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, that was hot. That was hot.
That was so good.
That was hot. That was nice.
Let's get some action
Yeah,
shots.
I almost felt like I was in LA for a minute there, you know? Oh man. All right, guys, so we're in the quaint little town of Mani, and we're about to end our adventure. But before we do, I want to show you a little bit of footage that I filmed before we got here at another little village on our way through here. It was close to Oxkutzcab, and again, you know, we filmed that thinking that was going to be the end of our adventure, but I'm going to show you a little bit of that so you can see what the town center of that little area looks like, and then we're going to come back here to show you what this place looks like. All right, guys, so we are here in Emilio, Zapata, which is pretty close to Oxkutzcab. Very, very, very famous place that's known for its orange festival and orange trees and groves, and well, you've seen a lot so far as we've taken you know, shown you as we've traveled, you know, from the archaeological site all the way up to here. And so the reason we stopped here is because again, it's already getting late in the day, and you know, we've already done a lot of exploring and a lot of fun, and we've done a lot of things out here, and so therefore we decided to call it a day, because it's going to be close to an hour and a half to get back home. And you know, hey, it is what it is. But regardless, you know, I think this episode has been long enough. So what I'm going to do is that, again, see, we found our way. We had no phone signal, but we found the sign, and we're just going to go old school, and we still kind of have the map, and that's what we're going to do to get out of here. So again, you know, everyone's waiting for me in the car in the air conditioner real quick, you know, while I do a quick little, you know, tour around here. As you guys can see, we're here in the town center. Very nice and very beautiful. And so, you know, what I'm gonna do, you know, to end this episode is that, you know, as you know, we finish up here, what I'm gonna do is that, like, I'm gonna keep filming, you know, along the way, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a mini montage, you know, to kind of like end the episode. Buenos dias. And you know, we're gonna do like a little mini montage, you know, to end the episode, and so you can see a little bit more, because there's just so much to see, and you know, it's just so hard to show everything to you guys, because I'm really trying to show you guys everything. So all right, enough seeing my face. Let me just show you how, you know, beautiful and well kept and well maintained everything is. Seems like that's the church. You know, there's all kinds of people, they're living in these homes, doing their thing, living their life, again, just on a regular beautiful Saturday afternoon. Everyone's getting ready to party tonight, because that's what people do out here, and it's just a beautiful life. And yeah, you know, like I said, I really hope you guys are enjoying, you know, seeing, you know, what another piece of what deep down inside, you know, the Yucatan looks like. Hola, buenos dias. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, ¿verdad? Buenas tardes, ¿no? Buenas tardes, Saludos. Hasta luego. Gracias. So you see, everyone is super crazy beautiful, friendly, and yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. So to me, I love exploring, you know, all these little villages, love exploring the jungle, love exploring all this stuff, love taking you guys with me. I hope you guys do as well. Again, you know, I have all kinds of different episodes where we do all kinds of different things. You know, sometimes I'll go to a village, you know, like the village of Teco, and we'll walk around the village. You know, we went to Tequit not too long ago, and we went on a bike ride. You know, we showed you the whole village there, and then, you know, various other adventures throughout. And then today, you know, we went on a kind of like a more of a touristy thing. So we were, you know, we did like a little day trip, you know, road tripping, and we went on ahead and you know, showed you you know, like you know how they say you can do a staycation and you can you know, vacation on your own and in your own backyard and all that stuff. So that's what we did. You know, that's basically kind of like what I did for you guys, or what we did here. And you know, sure enough, you know, hope you guys have enjoyed the show today. And that's it. That's why I'm out here, because I'm trying to just you know, give you guys a you know, a quick little, you know, ending, because, you know, we got to be on our way. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed a little bit of a mini tour of the town center here. And I really hope you guys get to enjoy, like I said, you know, the little bit of a montage I'm going to put up here at the end. Look where we are. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's not nowhere, you know, it just depends on who you are. Again, I want to give a big shout out to all my patrons, all my members, everyone else out there, you know, that's been contributing to the show forever. And all right, guys, let's get out of here. All right, so all right, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We are now at the end of our adventure, and we are here in El Pueblito, in the little village. Look at that, you hear the, you know, the roosters crowing. We're here in the village of Mani. I've always heard so many things about this place, and wow, sure enough, it does not disappoint. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this palace. I mean, sorry, that's the municipal palace there. You know, that is you know, the cathedral. We are in the middle of town. Look at all these nice little buildings. Look at all the colors. I know it's dark because it's already getting late. I apologize for that, but hopefully you can see somewhat. In fact, let's walk a little bit over here as we kind of end this show. So again, today we just went on a random trip. You know, we did have a little bit of itinerary, you know, I don't want to lie, you know, we did have a little bit of an itinerary where we did wanted to go see the museum, and we did want to go see those ruins, you know, that archaeological site that we went to go see. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we are in the center of town. Let's make our way all the way out there. So yeah, we went on. How can we get down from here? How do we get down from here? Hopefully, no, it's not too high. All right, let's make our way. Let's climb down here. Un segundo. All right, here we are. Look at that. How beautiful. Wow, very nice. The little village of Mani. Wow, you definitely got to come out here and visit. So anyways, as I was saying, you know, what we did today is that we went on a little adventure. You know, we simply had a little bit of an itinerary, and then we just went on ahead and went off the beaten path a little bit, and we ended up here. And from here, we're going to end up going home because it's already late, as you guys can see. And we still got about an hour drive ahead of us. And there's probably going to be some traffic. But yeah, check it out. What a beautiful, beautiful little town. Look at this. Wow. Very nice. All right, check it out. El Pueblito de Mani. Oh, we definitely got to come back here. In fact, this would be a nice spot for us to take a bike ride, huh? What do you guys think, huh? In fact, let us know down below in the comments if you would like to see me come back here and perhaps even go on a bike ride through town. Because this looks like a place that I would love to show you guys. Look at this. Wow. Very nice. So it seems like a lot of construction going on, a lot of stuff going on. So I just wanted to give you a little walk and a little tour of Mani before we wrap this bad boy up here. So again, you know, we're just here in the town center. Again, we're deep in the Yucatan. The deeper you go, the more hilly it gets and the more elevation there is, and the rockier it gets. And it's just, man, it's just so nice. It's so cool out here. Again, as I've always told you guys about, you know, Mexico, you know, being very mountainous, very rocky. you know. And yeah, again, even here in the Yucatan, which is extremely flat, look at what we have here. So wow, very nice, very beautiful. Here, let's make our way down. Anyways, right there is a palace. I'm gonna take a little romantic picture there. Well, let's go through here first, and then we'll make our way down. But yeah, guys, it's very, very, very nice that each one of these little villages, each one of these little pueblos has their own like flavor, has their own taste. How do I say this? You know, has their own kind of unique thing going for it. And this one is no different. Wow, this one's really, really nice. Wow. Okay. So there's a municipal palace. It's Saturday, you know, Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, going to be Saturday night. Hola, buenos días. So you see a bunch of vendors, you know, line up here to do their thing. Very, very nice. Super cool. Look at everybody just selling their stuff. You got little soaps. Hola, buenos días. You know, you got the honey and, you know, just all kinds of cool stuff. Look at that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Hope you guys are enjoying so far. You know, a little walk through town here. I know many of you guys might not, you know, be able to make it through here, but you know, I'm glad that I'm able to walk through these streets and show you a little bit of what it looks like out here. Look at that. So, all right, super cool. Well, all right, guys, so let's make our way down this way while we kind of wrap this up. So as I was saying earlier, you know, this is something that you guys can do. Okay, you guys can do if you're visiting, you guys can do if you're out here living out here, or you guys can do vicariously through the TV screen by watching me do it for you. But at the end of the day, this is an option, you know, for many people out there, you know, they're coming to visit, you know, Merida, the Yucatan, in this region, or they live here and want something new and things to do. Because a lot of people always say, oh, you know, this whole area is boring. And I'm like, boring? How is it boring? Again, I know everybody has a different sense of, you know, fun or what have you, but how is this place boring, you know? You know, there's so much fun, there's so much adventure to be had. Again, it's up to you, you know, most of the time for you to, you know, go off the beaten path, talk to people, meet people, see things, you know, interact with people. Look at this. All right. Very beautiful. Let's walk through here. All right, so we're back here. I want to walk all the way down the little Valentine's lovers path or whatever this is here. So, but yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's adventure, where you guys can do something very similar if you would choose to do so, which is, you know, simply just take a little road trip and go see what's out there and get lost in the sauce, get lost in the jungle, and enjoy you know, the outdoors. Because this is what you know, that's what this place is, you know. Like, if you're gonna, you know, be going out, you gotta be someone that enjoys the outdoors, and that kind of stuff. It's not for everybody. Again, anyways, very, very nice, very beautiful. Wow. Okay, so all right, let's make our way upstairs here. So all right, guys, I really, really, really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of you know, me taking you guys on a tour of, you know, the Yucatan. And this today's episode, we went and did a little bit of the, you know, Puuc route, la Ruta Puuc. We did a little bit of the Ruta Jose, la Ruta whatever this is. And again, we went a little bit off the beaten path. I got to show you a little bit, you know, of the Yucatan, things that I've never seen before. It was kind of like a surprise to all of us. You know, we went to the ruins, you know, the archaeological site. That was a very big surprise. It was a very, very huge site. When we went to the museum and that little town, also very, very interesting. On the way home, we were on the way home right now, and like I said, I had already filmed another ending, and I said, you know what, I said, hey, can we stop here real quick and can we film another So I want to see what the money looks like, and just to film a little footage, which again you're gonna see on at the end of this episode. Okay, like I said, you know, I'm gonna be showing you you know, a bunch of footage, a lot of extra footage of me just you know, shooting it from the car with a little background music or something like that, you know, as we end the show. But whew, a little out of breath, you know, just walking up the hill there. But all right guys, I'm ending it here because the truck is up there, and you know, this is the end of the path, and I want something to drink, and I'm tired. So so with all that said, guys, you already know the deal. All right, I want to give a big shout out to all my members and all my subscribers out there, all the new ones, all the old ones, every single one of you guys that has been around for the longest time, you know, I'm supporting the show, all my patrons, every one of you guys, you already know what's up. And with all that said, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon, but more important than anything else, whew, please say a prayer for me because I am exhausted. I'm gonna pass out on the truck and get some rest on the way home. All right, yeah, probably not, you know, I'm gonna keep talking to see, bye, see how nice everybody is. She's like, I'm gonna keep talking to David, so you know, he also stays up because we got an hour drive back home. So all right guys, thanks again for watching, thanks again for listening to my rambling, thanks again for putting up with me, and I hope you enjoy this little montage at the end of this episode, and love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye.